Our football team this year is going to be I always tell people, you never know about your football team until you're about game 5. And then sometimes you don't know as well. Last year we went into the season with 9 kids returning on offense. We had 2 kids returning on defense. And you saw we never really recovered from the guys that we lost on defense that were 2-year starters. A lot of those guys were starters in the state championship game in 2016, and then they played really good defense in 2017. In 2017, we had all new guys, and you could tell we struggled offensively. And then last year we had 9 guys back on offense. Josh Crawford comes in, does an excellent job with the offense, and we lead the state in a lot of categories, especially throwing the football. Had a pass for 3,700 yards, and I had an excellent year offensively. And by far, it was the worst year we've had defensively since I've been here in 10 years. And so now this year we turned that all around. We got 3 kids returning on offense. We got 8 kids returning on defense. And so I think the challenge is right there in front of us. We need to make sure these 3 guys, we find some guys around them to make them better and not struggle offensively all year with all the new faces. Defensively, however, I expect to be so much better this year than we were last year. As far as our leaders on our football team, first I'll tell you it starts with our quarterback. Tate Rodemaker is a returning starter, and I don't care if he's my son or if he's whatever. If you get a quarterback that's a returning starter, that's a big deal in our league, especially with the schedule we play. And then Jaheim Bell's a leader on offense. He's going to play tight end H-back for us. Both of those guys are heavily recruited guys, but more importantly, Jaheim's a 3-year starter, Tate's a 2-year starter. And then everybody else, other than Terrell Roberts. Terrell Roberts is another wideout that's returning starter. Everybody else on offense is brand new. We got 10 guys battling for starting spots, and 6 of those 10 guys are sophomores. And so our offensive line has been a concern since we got out of last season, and it's still a concern up until this day. In fact, really the starting 5 right now. We're rotating a couple guys right now in the top 10, but we are young. We got 6 starters on offense that are seniors, and we got 3 starters, projected starters right now on defense that are seniors. So that's the good part about it. One of the challenges I think of our team this year is just finding a way to invest and love in one another. Our motto is just one word, it's others. And we've tried to do things. We've got a couple events coming up in the next 2 weeks where we're carrying our seniors off, carrying our team off away from Valdosta and trying to grow as a football team and trying to get our kids to build and to invest in one another and become a real team. Since I've been the head coach, we've had the #1 schedule in the state, regardless of the classification, and that's no different this year. We open up with Maynard Jackson, then we have Tifton the next week, then we have Bradwell Institute the next week, and then Colquitt, and then Beaufort, South Carolina, and then we finish up our non-region season with Lowndes. And I think Lowndes has about 50 seniors, Colquitt's Colquitt, and Tifton's gotten us the last 2 years. All 3 of those guys have gotten past the quarterfinals the last 2 years in 7A. And then when you enter 6A, enter our region, we got an open week after Lowndes, and then we enter our region, and our region, I don't know if there's been a region that's dominated high school football like ours has the last 4 years. We won it in 16, and then in 17, Lee County won it, and they played a region foe in the state championship in Coffee County and beat them in overtime in the state championship. And then last year, Lee County won it again and played another region foe, Northside Warner Robins, in the state championship. So in the last 3 years, we got 3 state champions in our region and 2 other finalists and another semifinalist because Northside Warner Robins was a semifinalist the year we won it. So I imagine that the 6A state championship will come through our region again, and we're hoping to compete in our region because our region is returning a lot of good players.